Welcome to the Stevia Show. It's the Stevia Show. Helping you expand on what you know. Throw in a meme of the week and a review of the screen. And to have a show that covers everything.
Hey, Team Stevia, and welcome to episode 84 of The Stevia Show.
A talk show podcast that covers pop culture, world news, local artistry, and everything in between.
And this is Steven.
And this is Lydia.
And we are back together, and we are excited because we have a lot to talk about.
Yes,
and
we do.
We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. But yeah, episode 83, I was flying solo there. Very happy to be back with Lydia because it's a lot more fun.
I listened to it. You did a good job.
Oh, thanks. I mean, it was short. There really wasn't a lot to talk about.
It was kind of boring.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of good news week.
Right.
But this week,
there's a lot of good news.
some good news.
Yeah. Well, maybe not all good, but
I mean we have news.
But
let's just say news in general.
That's true. Okay, so let's see here. For the meme of the week, let's go ahead and hit that button. There we go.
Yes.
All right. So the meme of the week this week, Matt is the current winner of OC Friday, and the meme was the two Doge memes. It was one where it's like looking scared, and the other one who's all buff. And the scared dog says, big influencers and content creators, and it says uses their platform to sing Imagine with people in their tax bracket and not doing anything. Looking
right.
at you, Gal Gadot. And then the other one, the buff dog, was the Stevia Show, and it said uses our platform to advocate for social issues and amplify voices. So that was pretty cool.
It was good.
Yeah, it was very good. So congratulations to Matt for winning meme of the week, and that victory goes to the Ship Boys. So congratulations there.
Congrats.
Yeah.
So this week on Lydia's media review.
Button.
Yes, I love it when it works out like that.
Yeah.
We watched The Good Liar. So I actually had been gone on vacation. I went to Iowa this past week. Well, I got back late on Sunday. Not late, but like 5 o'clock. And so I was like, tired. So Matt and I were like, let's put a movie on. So we found this movie. It's called The Good Liar. It came out last year. And it is about con man Roy Courtney, who has set his sights on his latest mark, the recently widowed Betty McClesh, who is worth millions. But this time, what should have been a simple swindle escalates into a cat and mouse game with ultimate stakes.
Ooh, so like life and death.
Yeah.
That's pretty ultimate.
It's pretty cool. So this movie basically only has two major stars, Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen.
AKA Gandalf.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And Helen Mirren played the Queen in one of her movies. Rotten Tomatoes scored it a 63% on the tomato meter, and the audience scored it as an 85%. My score, I actually gave it a 6.5 out of 10.
Nice.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Why is that?
Helen and Ian make you want to continue to watch the movie because it's Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen. Like, you can't not watch a movie with them in it.
Right.
But it kind of lasted a lot longer than it needed to. So after like the first half of the movie, they probably could have sped it up a little bit.
Okay.
Because it was kind of the same thing over and over and over again until really you get to the end and you figure out the plot.
Okay.
Speaking of plot, this movie has a really good plot twist.
Oh.
Everyone loves good plot twists.
Of course.
There could be one or two. It's worth the watch, but it's not something I'm going to probably watch again.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I did want to point out too that I actually watched Knives Out for the first time.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what movie that
when
movie
I was
was.
It has an all-star cast. Jamie Lee Curtis, Chris Evans, Captain America, right?
Yes.
The girl from 13 Reasons Why.
Okay.
Oh gosh, there's so many. Well, I finally watched it. Matt has actually watched it twice in the movie theater. But the funny thing is I was watching it with my mom, Lex and Logan, and when I was in Iowa, and I figured out the plot like halfway through and I was like, oh, I already know how this ends. And Logan was like, oh, how? Like, trying to antagonize me. So I was like, I'll tell you how. And I told him, and he was just like, just watch the movie. And I was like, I think I got it. So I got it right halfway through.
Nice.
Excellent movie though. Excellent. And I love Chris Evans.
Okay.
That's it.
Right on. Okay.
So if you haven't seen Knives Out, you can watch it. It's on Prime for free.
Okay, right on. So you would recommend Knives Out over the one with Ian McKellen?
Yes.
Okay.
Both of them, interesting enough, I watched them within the same week, and they both have good plot twists.
Huh.
They're like kind of, mysteries and things like that. So it's just interesting that I watched both kind of the same type of movie within the same week. I would watch Knives Out first, and then I'd watch A Good Liar.
Cool. Right on. Well,
The Good Liar. I
think it was The Good Liar. Awesome. Well, thank you for that media review, Lydia.
Anytime.
Because we, of course, did not have one last week because I don't watch anything.
Yep.
So anyway, exactly. So for the main segment, we have a lot to talk about today.
Yes,
so,
we do.
We actually don't have a COVID update, but basically things are looking bad.
So we decided to skip the COVID update this week because it's just so depressing that I'm tired of talking about it.
Did you see that meme I sent you where we didn't flatten the curve, but we turn it into a half pipe?
And he's on
skateboarding.
Yeah. So we've hit the all-time high here in America, while every other country in the world has actually flattened and decreased the curve.
Right, because they took it seriously.
Because, our other countries, like our European counterparts, they are more of collectivism. They love thy neighbor. We're here in America, we're more independent. What is it called?
Oh, it's called
individualism.
Individualism,
so
yes.
we only care about ourselves, clearly. And it's just really sad.
Which is sad because my man, Mr. Rogers over here, obviously he's up there on the top right. And below. I have two of them. But anyway, he obviously taught, be kind to your neighbor. We're all neighbors here. And that's what we discussed on the Black Lives Matter episode. I feel like just in general, we advocate for being good to people. And it's like, if my mask even slightly inconveniences me, I don't care. Like, y'all are getting COVID,
Right.
It's so dumb because, and also the European Union, they are allowing people back into their countries. And America is on the no-fly list.
We are on the no-fly list.
Joined by, really the only other country, major country that is permissible to fly to is Brazil, because their president, Jair Bolsonaro, who we've talked about a few times, he's been treating this like Trump and just basically not very well.
Yeah, not well at all.
Yeah.
So we've hit our all-time high. We have over, I think I saw today, 500,000 deaths throughout the world, and still no cure. So just know that the state you live in, it probably, your cases have probably gone up, and your hospital bed capacity has also gone up. So
wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart.
Wear a mask.
Yep, basically the same thing, but different day.
It literally, it doesn't hurt you in any way.
No. It absolutely does not. Okay. But speaking of Donald Trump, to begin the main segment, Donald Trump has retweeted a bizarre video of seniors supporting Trump while parading around on golf carts. I don't know if you've seen the video, or I guess...
Oh, I watched it.
Okay, or I guess the collective you've being Team Stevia.
Yes.
But you should go find it on Twitter because it is weird. So the Associated Press reported on June 28th that Trump retweeted a video where seniors were driving around on golf carts in the Villages, Florida. Within 10 seconds of the video, one man driving a golf cart said white power. The now deleted retweet said, quote, "Thank you to the great people of the Villages. The radical left do-nothing Democrats will fall in the fall. Corrupt Joe is shot. See you soon." The video is still on Twitter, but Trump's retweet is not.
Yeah, it's funny that he, they probably made him take that down because it was clearly a retweet of white supremacy.
Oh, 100%.
Because in the video, they're going, white power, white power, white power. Like, it is clear as day. And then he retweets it and is like, these are good people. Who then again, he retweets that the white people in front of the freaking Capitol with guns are good people.
Right.
But then our friends that are out there in the Black Lives Matter movement, they're
like the very bad people.
What did they call them?
Thugs. Yeah.
Thugs.
It's so stupid. But also, yeah, and I could understand if like the audio in the video was muddled, where maybe he said, like wipe flour or something like that. But you can hear it clear as day. Clear as day. It says white power. So Lydia, how did they backpedal on this?
Yeah. So White House spokesman Judd Deere said that President Trump is a big fan of the Villages. He did not hear the one statement made on the video. What he did see was tremendous enthusiasm from his many supporters, which, by the way, you can go watch the video and he says it clearly 3 or more times. So the fact that he didn't hear Was he watching it on mute?
I don't know, because I'm I'm clearly calling BS because it was literally like the 8th second of the video.
Literally.
But he sure does love his very fine people. So,
Very fine people.
That's something that is kind of a recurring theme. But it was just such a weird thing because like you had the Trump supporters on golf carts and they were all old people. And then the old people who were against Trump were all on the sidelines.
With the signs.
It was just a weird situation.
It was weird,
around.
which the Villages, if you don't know, I'm going to retire there. Not because of this situation, but I've always wanted to retire there. Me, Sierra, Kaylee, and Kristen are all bringing our husbands, and we're all retiring at the Villages.
What the hell? Am I not invited to go?
Do you want to come?
I mean, maybe.
You haven't thought about it.
Well,
you haven't even looked it up.
If I wasn't even invited.
You're invited.
Oh, okay, cool.
Everyone's invited.
Okay, because we're all neighbors here.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right on.
I'm in for the collectivism, but at the Villages. So you don't have to go outside. There's gas stations, there's grocery stores, there's workout centers, there's tennis courts, there's anything you ever need in life is within the Villages. So that's why they don't have cars. They only go around on golf carts.
Oh.
Yes. So that's the whole point of the golf cart is because all the people you either walk or you are on golf carts.
Still weird though.
So weird, but so excellent if you're an old person.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, I get that, but still, I mean, it's bizarre. And speaking of bizarre, we have some Twitch drama that Lydia is more vested in than I am. So let's hear.
I'm vested because it's so interesting.
Oh, I'm sure.
So Dr. Disrespect has been banned from Twitch. The question is there a reason? So this happened a few days ago, and since then, Dr. Disrespect has come out and said that Twitch actually has not even notified him as to why he has been banned, which a lot of people are calling BS, because why would a major streaming service not contact one of the largest creators on their platform? I mean, Dr. Disrespect makes millions a year in support, in ad revenue, all the things. Not only has Twitch dropped him, but we have found out that his Discord affiliation has been dropped, and a few others. The only thing that he still has on his ad profile and on theirs is Gatorade, Mountain Dew, maybe it's Mountain Dew, G Fuel. I think it's
G Fuel's Gatorade.
Gatorade,
or maybe no, it might be Gamer Fuel by Mountain Dew.
Which
either way, yeah. But
so he's still on there, but we as in the people of Twitter.
Yes.
And the rest of the world have a few speculations behind why Dr. Disrespect has been banned. So recently, the recent outing of a lot of male gamers being abusive mentally, physically, and emotionally to mainly female counterparts has been a big thing that's happened in the last couple weeks.
Yes, and I mean, of course, right now there's no proof, but I do know that the gaming community, like my friend Blake Westerby, or I guess our friend Blake Westerby, he finished The Last of Us Part 2, which he thought was a very good game, but apparently a lot of people were very angry. A lot of men were angry because it was a social justice warrior game, whenever Blake said very clearly that it wasn't. And I think the main problem that we see is that the video game industry has shifted gears to advertise primarily to men, whenever it used to be a mixed thing, and now that women are finally getting back into video gaming, a lot of the toxic masculinity is unfortunately still there, which is dumb. Gaming's for everybody,
right? Why does it have to be boys or girls?
Yeah, it's dumb. Like with The Last of Us Part 2, I think the main character is a woman, which I mean, which I don't care as long as the story is good and the game's fun. Right. I'm gonna play it.
Why does it matter?
It's that easy. So
that's the first speculation. Now, we don't have any proof of this. It's just pure speculation on the fact that big platforms like Twitch and Facebook and YouTube actually have been getting rid of their content creators after allegations have come up. Second, the second speculation is Spotify has been cracking down on music streamers use illegally. So, Twitch, for a long time, Twitch streamers have not gotten in trouble by using artists. So they can play, Ice Cube or whatever. I don't know why I thought of Ice Cube. That's weird. Beyonce, things like that. Yeah. And not get in trouble for it. But technically, you're not allowed to stream music that's not...
And make money off of it.
And make money off of it. So Twitch... Spotify has come to Twitch and been like, you have to get a hold of this because this can't happen anymore. So we at first thought that was it, but the streams that Twitch banned for this, the illegal use of Spotify, they only got like a 12-hour ban. Like, hey, get your act together.
Which that's fair. That's a fair punishment.
Right.
You know?
Like, hey, get new music, come back tomorrow, right?
Right.
So since Dr. Disrespect has been off of Twitch for, I believe, 3 to 4 days now, they don't think that is what is happening.
Huh.
The third speculation is this thing called Watch Prime.
Which sounds awfully like Prime.
Interesting. So a new streaming service, supposedly, and I put that in air quotes because we're not really sure as of 12:44 on Monday. So it's a new streaming service, supposedly, that currently only follows about 15 popular streamers. This includes Ninja, Shroud, and Dr. Disrespect. So they think, the people of the world think that Twitch found out and terminated the relationship with them and Doc, thinking that Doc, Ninja, and Shroud are actually the co-founders of this new streaming platform
like in cahoots.
called Prime.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
So the only the people that this Watch a Prime account on Twitter, you can look it up at Watch a Prime. It's Ninja, Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, Dr. Lupo, and a few YouTube streamers, a few not big Twitch streamers, and like one Mixer streamer besides Ninja and Shroud. And then they follow Twitter.
Right.
So a lot of people are speculating like, hey, this is a new streaming platform. Ninja and Shroud have both not come out and said yet because did we talk about the Mixer thing?
I don't think we did, or no, but yeah, because that happened last week, and I think that happened after I recorded that.
Okay,
episode.
so for those of you who don't know, Mixer, who Microsoft owned, said last week that they're actually cutting the streaming platform Mixer, and they decided to have a partnership with Facebook. So any Mixer streamer that was streaming on Mixer can go over to Facebook and still have their partnership and their whatever.
Well, that's fair.
Ninja and Shroud went over to Mixer, and some reports say that Shroud went to Mixer for $10 million and Ninja went for 50 is what they're saying. And because Mixer is ending it, that means that they basically worked for 6 months for $10 and $50 million.
Cash out.
Because now they're not. There it is.
It's a money move. Yeah.
It's a money move. So now they are basically just like, well, we have all this money, so now we can probably do whatever we want.
Right,
so they think that they're co-founders of this Watch Prime. Today they're supposed to be doing a Q&A, and I kind of was watching it on Twitter, but nothing in the last 7 hours has been tweeted. So I'm waiting patiently. They do have a website, watchprime.com, I believe. Watchprime.com.
Okay.
But all it says is this platform is being held. So it's just a white one of those HTTP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's still up to speculation. Dr. Disrespect's wife, Mrs. Assassin, actually tweeted and was like in support of Dr. Disrespect. So that's why a lot of people don't think that it's because of the abusive thing. Because why would his wife come out and be like, whatever, unless she just legitimately doesn't know. But I feel like you would know.
Right. I mean, or if she just wants part of that cash out, which would, also make sense. But of course, more than likely, it's because nothing happened.
Right.
As of now.
So, also, on top of all of the banning, Twitch has actually refunded all of Dr. Disrespect's supporters' money for this month. So he has thousands and thousands of supporters, so they all got their $5.99 back for this month. So that means that he's probably banned indefinitely from the Twitch platform. And I just don't know. I think the biggest odds are that that maybe he's in cahoots with Ninja and Shroud. But also I'm like, but really? Do they think that it's going to be a huge thing? Like,
yeah.
I just don't know.
I don't know, because one thing, all of this makes me very happy that you and I are independent creators, where we don't have to deal with any sort of this pleasing our advertisers and stuff like that, because our advertisers are you, Team Stevia. We appreciate it. But this whole thing just also on top of that makes me wish that YouTube would just expand their gaming platform, because then I feel like it'd be game over.
So the thing, so a lot of people are like, well, what's wrong with YouTube's gaming platform? So when you go to YouTube gaming, you can't search a game, and you can't really search the creator. Like, the search bar is very, like, if you search Courage JD, his videos will pop up before his his "I'm going live" will pop up.
Which I mean, it makes sense because YouTube is a video
It's a
first
video,
platform,
right?
But I think they're still trying to figure out their gaming thing. But I feel like once they do, that's going to be a huge leap.
100%.
Yeah, because I mean, YouTube already has the viewers, already has the name familiarity, but it'll be kind of interesting. I guess these stream wars, as we're probably going to end up calling them.
Yeah.
Seeing how it all unfolds.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting for sure.
It is. And then back to the political world. So the House of Representatives voted yes on DC statehood, which is actually very cool. So PBS NewsHour reported on June 26th, that largely along party lines that the House of Representatives voted 232 to 180 in favor of making Washington, D.C. our 51st state. Minnesota Representative Colin Peterson was the only Democrat to oppose the bill. He was also one of only 2 Democrats to vote no on both articles of impeachment for President Trump. The other one was that Jeff Van Drews from New Jersey, who actually ended up flipping parties. And then now the bill will head to the Senate, where it will nearly certainly be stricken down by the Republican majority.
As per usual. Biden leads Trump in national polling.
Big time.
I would like to preface this with, you know how I am about national polling.
Right.
It does not tell you how many people they polled, where they polled, what population they polled. It just says national polling, so we don't really know.
It's still a big margin, though. That's why I
big margin.
It. Yeah.
Real Clear Politics' most recent national polling average has Joe Biden up by 9.4%, with Trump having a 40.8% favorability rate.
Yeah, not very good.
That's almost 10%.
That's
pretty.
I was actually looking at this poll, and last week the average was Biden was up like 11%.
Really?
So, I mean, as of now, this is Biden's election to lose, but of course you can't rely too heavily on the polls because of the whole margin of error thing, but we will discuss that way more in depth in the November episode.
Yes,
when we talk about the election.
And we also have to think about that. I know it sucks, but that just means Trump has 5 months to promise all this stuff to the people.
Right.
Another stimulus check. Oh, but are we really going to get it? Because that's what he did. Last week, he said, oh yeah, I would be fine with giving the people another stimulus check after 4.8 million Americans missed their house payment last month.
But he doesn't care.
But he doesn't care because he has millions of dollars, which... Does he, though? Because he's been bankrupt like 18 times.
Right. Well, and then the other thing is that he's more concerned about protecting the statues. He signed that executive order.
Executive order over the monuments, but doesn't give the people more money in a time of need.
And also is trying to...
shitty.
Is also trying to axe Obamacare during a national pandemic.
During the pandemic.
Which is absolutely insane. So, I mean, and all of this stuff came out after those poll numbers. So if he keeps on promising this stuff to the people, surely it's not going to, bode well for him.
No.
But in good news, the Mississippi flag now has a pathway to be changed. So the Washington Post reported on July 27th that the Mississippi State Legislature, both houses led by Republicans, voted bipartisanly to clear the way for a new Mississippian flag. The measure would allow the legislature to design a flag that explicitly states no Confederate emblems, and then also adding "In God We Trust" to be voted on by Mississippians. That's so much fun to say.
Mississippians.
Mississippians. So should Mississippians reject the first flag, a new one will be created to be voted on with the same stipulations. Republican Governor Tate Reeves has changed his position on the issue and has now said that he would not veto such a measure. And for a bit of historical context, Mississippi is the only state to have the Confederate battle emblem, otherwise known as the rebel flag, explicitly on the flag. Georgia was the most recent state to remove the emblem, which was in 2001.
Oh my God.
Yeah. However, the current Georgian flag is designed after the actual flag of the Confederacy, aka the Stars and Bars. And Mississippi and Georgia are joined by Alabama, Arkansas, and Florida as the remaining 5 states with Confederate emblems on their current flags. And just a friendly reminder, the United States of America defeated the Confederate States 155 years ago in 1865. USA.
I don't even have anything to say about that.
Yeah, so I mean, that's good because I mean, literally, I'm sure you've seen a picture of it. It's like literally the rebel flag in the corner.
It's in the corner. It's like the American flag where the stars are, but in the stars, it's the Confederate flag.
Right, and then the Georgia flag is the exact same, but it has Georgia's symbol on it. But the red, white, and red was a Confederate's flag.
Right.
So we still have 5 states that have Confederate emblems in their flag. So hopefully we'll see more of those come down.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, people are like, oh, this is disrespectful to our heritage, like America. God bless America. Whenever they literally forget the Confederacy were traitors. That is why the United States of America won the Civil War and not the Confederate States.
And not the Confederate States.
It's literally that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of people don't know the history. I think that they are just not, they just, either they stopped,
Yeah.
they stopped at 8th grade, which
Yeah.
most Trump supporters are uneducated, I will say. But I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah.
Or they just didn't listen, or they just refused to understand. Like,
Right.
hello, wake up.
Like literally, it's
Wake up.
like literally, it's in the name of the country, United States of America, not Confederate States of whatever.
So clearly, the United States of America won.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Speaking of winning, we have a lot of winners in Stevia League.
We do.
Yes.
Congratulations to our pals, GURP.
Yes.
Oh, geez, Louise.
I am the 4th member.
You are the 4th member of GURP on winning our 2nd edition of Stevia League. It was a great time playing Rocket League. Check out our Facebook page this week to vote on the next game we play.
Yes, it's going to be very exciting. GURP was just much like the United States of America in the Civil War. They were unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
I think they only lost one battle.
One match.
Not battle, sorry.
One battle. The Battle of Stevia Zone.
Something like that. Yeah, but that was, I guess I was still in Civil War mode.
Yeah,
So
I know.
they only lost one match, but whatever. But also, we as in Oklahoma, we have an election tomorrow.
Yes, we do. June 30th.
Yes, we love voting here at the Stevia Show. So, Lydia, what are the details on that?
Yeah, so June 30th will be Oklahoma's primary election for our state and national offices, as well as State Question 802, which would expand Medicaid. We would like to officially endorse Kojo.
Yes, Kojo Asamoah Caesar.
We're excited.
Yes, we're very excited.
Because we're also get to see him in July.
We just get so stoked. It's like we're like starstruck over it.
We really
Yeah.
are. For U.S. House District 1, and Abby Broyles for the U.S. Senate, and we are voting yes on the State Question 802. However, we always encourage Team Stevia to research the candidates independently and, above all else, vote.
Yeah, so just because we are endorsing 2 candidates and voting yes on Question 802 does not mean you have to do that as well. We are just using our platform to say what we think we should do, but of course, our votes are not your votes. So of course, be sure to check them out, and above all else, again, vote tomorrow.
In the link, we will have why we're voting yes on 802.
In the show notes, yeah. We'll go ahead
in
and
the show
include those.
notes.
Yeah.
So you can click on that link. It's a quick read, takes about 3 minutes.
It's like 2 paragraphs. It's not bad.
Yeah. Not bad at all, and that'll explain that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also, the Supreme Court is handed out another W. So the Supreme Court hands abortion rights advocates, a victory in the Louisiana case, as reported by NPR today, which would be June the 29th. So that was a huge victory for Roe versus Wade, because Louisiana had one of the strictest abortion laws, and the Supreme Court struck it down because Roe versus Wade is still the law of the land.
Still the law.
Yes.
We support Roe versus Wade. Sports. Update sports. Cam Newton is going to the New England Patriots.
That was huge news, because whenever you sent me news about Cam Newton, I was like, what? And then I saw it, I was like, oh,
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
So Cam Newton left the Panthers and signed a 1-year up to $7.5 million deal with the Pats to be the starter for the 2020-2021 season. So he's starting this fall. And as a reminder, Tom Brady is at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the starter. So it's going to be a little bit different for Cam and the Pats, not having Brady, but I think Cam's going to do some big things over there.
I think so too. Now, did Gronk go to the Bucs as well?
Gronk went to the Bucs.
Okay.
I think he came out of retirement to go play for Brady at the Bucs.
I think so too, because Gronk was on The Masked Singer
Yes.
A while back. It was cool seeing him, but he wasn't very good. But that's the whole fun. That's the fun of it.
That's the fun of it, right?
Yeah. So everybody was speculating that he was going to come back because he made like that big of a public appearance, and then sure enough he did. I mean, honestly, I feel better about Cam going to the Patriots than Tom going to the Bucs, because I mean, of course, again, I don't know how many times we have to say it here. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. We are not disputing that, but he is 100% past his prime. He needs to.
He should have retired like 3 years ago.
He should have called it, and that would have been totally admirable.
But you know what? He might give Bucs the winning season that they need.
Man, I don't know. I mean,
I mean, if you think about it, the Bucs have some good wide receivers.
Well, no, they do. But
they just didn't have the. I mean, Jameis Winston, he's fine.
Right.
He's a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback.
He's like Matt Ryan.
He's like Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
He's just like mediocre. Like he's good enough to get into the NFL, but like to stay for a while.
Right. And then I'm sure he has like, again, Matt Ryan moments of brilliance, because whenever Matt Ryan was in that Super Bowl versus New England, he was playing very good until the very end. But my whole concern is that Tom Brady this past season, and really the past 2 seasons, has looked terrible. Like just getting trounced left and right by any team with a good defense. Now, are the Bucs, are they AFC or NFC?
They are AFC.
I think so too. And I think there's a lot of defense powerhouses in that league, because in that conference, because I know the Bills are an AFC team, and the Bills were awesome last season. And once Ryan Allen gets this next season under his belt, I think that, of course I'm a Bills fan, so I think
you are.
But they have gotten better. But I still just think that it might give the Bucs a winning season and maybe a wild card slot. But Tom Brady's just past his prime. I think, no offense to your boy Brett Favre, another one of the greatest of all times.
When he went to the Vikings,
he should have called it. He should have called it with the Packers.
He did.
But you know what?
So next up on sports, golf is back.
Much to Matt's excitement.
Yep. So there is still no in-person audiences, but it is currently the only sport that is back in action and that you can watch live on TV.
Could you imagine like going to a golf match? I would never do that.
I've been. It's fine.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine, but I'm sure it's not fun. Like you can't get rowdy. You can't.
No, you have to stay quiet most of the time.
Right. You can't like slam beers with your buddies or whatever.
You can.
Well, but you have to be quiet.
You have to be quiet.
That's the sucky part.
Yeah,
you can't be belting out like 80s, hair metal anthems and stuff like that.
Right. I mainly just put the golf thing just to remind everybody that you can watch golf if you want. It's also a very good napping tool.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, golf's great. I'm just saying.
But I also wanted to say that I wanted to just bring this up so then you all know that I'm no longer watching the 1986 Masters.
You are free.
I am actually watching live golf now. So we're we're up to par now here.
Well, hey, that was a good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That
was up to par. That was good. I feel like you've been sitting on that one for the whole. Which
I've been waiting.
Which I would have been too, because that was a good one. But also so golf's first to come back. I think NASCAR is coming back soon. NASCAR, by the way, making really good movements. Really big movements. It was funny because I've seen a lot of memes saying I didn't think that in America's divorce the left would get NASCAR and the right would get Harry Potter. I think we've talked about that. But we talked about that 2 weeks ago. But
we didn't talk about the Bubba Wallace thing though.
Oh yeah, with the whole news. I think it's still being investigated.
No, they came out that said that actually it was it's a pulley for a garage, and it had been tied like that the whole off season.
So somebody went in and did that.
So somebody either did it before, or it's just how it was tied to pull down.
Yeah, but
they don't think the investigation ended by saying they don't think it was a racial thing.
I feel like a noose though. That's kind of.
But I will say, they're not. It could look like a noose, but it could just be a pulley.
Yeah. Okay.
So you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why they're like, well, it's been tied like this for a long time. Now it does look like this, and this is the first time we've been in this garage.
That's also true.
Since 8 months. So but not to downplay it, but that's what they came out with.
Right.
But did you see that all of the Bubba Wallace, he's the only
African American.
He's the only black race car driver.
Yes.
And all of the race car, every one of them, they came and they walked his car with him.
It was.
He started crying. He took a selfie. It was so feel good heart moment.
And in the whole athletics world, like LeBron James tweeted in support, of course, of Bubba Wallace, and everybody has. It's just because. I'm not trying to what's it called, to stereotype NASCAR fans, but whenever you think of a NASCAR fan, you have an image in mind, and it's not good.
It's not
but
good.
NASCAR, good on you.
Who knew NASCAR? Out of all of the sports, they were going to be the first.
That is exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying.
Who knew? I would have, if you would have been like, bet which league is going to say stuff first and which one is going to actually make changes first. NASCAR was not going to even be on my top 10.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I would put all the minor leagues, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would have expected the Tulsa Drillers and the Tulsa Oilers to do something before NASCAR, but that's amazing.
Crazy.
So in terms of other feel-good stories, so a Starbucks barista received nearly $80,000 in tips after being singled out for refusing to serve a customer for not wearing a mask. So this comes from Lenine Gutierrez, excuse me for that pronunciation, Nation, if I pronounced it wrong, was working his shift at a San Diego Starbucks when a woman who was not wearing a mask walked in and attempted to place an order. The woman flipped him off, and then took a picture of him, blasting him on Facebook. But as you would say, boy howdy. Did that backfire? Another barista started a GoFundMe for the individual because they felt bad for him trying to do the right thing, and now he is $80,000 richer. Gotta love it.
80 grand richer.
That was like an old boomerang, you know?
Because this woman, go figure, she was a white older woman, refused to put her mask on, and he was like, bro, I'm not taking your order.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, well, F you, flipped him off, took a picture, posted the story on Facebook and said, this guy wouldn't take my order because I wasn't wearing a mask, F mask, blah, blah, blah. And it went viral, and he was like, I didn't even respond because I was like, this lady just blasted me on Facebook. What do I say? And then another barista from somewhere else he had never met started this GoFundMe.
Man, I love it whenever people like that clown themselves. Like,
it's so great.
It is the best.
Doesn't it just
Kinda
make you feel good?
I don't know if you saw the video of that cop who was crying because her McMuffin was late.
Yes.
That was so bad. She thought it was an assassination attempt. I'm like, Jesus Christ, no.
Come on now.
Just because your McMuffin was like 10 seconds late doesn't mean that you're going to get assassinated.
Those are the people why we have to put caution, hot
on the coffee. Right, yeah.
On the coffee.
Right, or don't stick this fork into a socket. You know, like that's it's pretty.
I hate people.
Yeah, me too. But speaking of good people, I was just going to segue into this for you because you're stoked for SpaceX.
Yes, SpaceX. So we want to do a little rewind here because this actually happened May 30th, and that was 30 days ago, basically.
Right.
But so much has happened that we didn't even get a chance to cover it. So I'm going to rewind and let everyone know that NASA and SpaceX launched a rocket to the International Space Station.
It is very cool.
Saturday, May 30th, 2020, which actually they were supposed to fly Thursday, May 28th.
Oh, this is the one that got delayed.
Yes.
Okay, we talked about it being delayed, but not the actual finished product.
Yes.
Okay, I remember now.
Yes, so it got delayed. Logan actually went out and got a spot and was like ready to take pictures, and then they delayed it for rain 16 minutes before they were supposed to launch.
Dang.
Then he went to Iowa.
Oh, it's like, you all right? was that your tooth?
Yes, I just attacked the microphone. Okay.
Oh man, you okay?
So he never got to see it. So the reposting of the launch was Saturday, May 30th, 2020. And for the first time in history, SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launched from American soil to the International Space Station with two NASA astronauts, Robert Becken and Douglas Hurley, in a commercially built and operated American crew spacecraft.
That is very cool.
So cool.
That is very, very cool.
So this, the program demonstrates NASA's commitment to investing in commercial companies through public-private partnerships, and builds on the success of American companies, including SpaceX, already delivering cargo to the space station. So I watched this happen real time, and it was bone-chilling. The emotion I had just watching these guys, from the goodbyes to the families, because they say goodbye to their family right there, and it's so sad because of the whole COVID thing.
Right.
They had to stay 6 feet apart. They couldn't hug or do anything. So
That's a
it's
bummer.
like, okay, potentially this could be the last time I see my dad, right? Like, it's scary. Space going up and coming back down are the hardest part.
Oh,
the middleman, it's like, okay, well, the docking's really hard too, but
I imagine all of it is really hard, and that's why they have engineers.
Right. And so then once they launched into the atmosphere and they made it, I cried. It was so emotional because you don't watch stuff like that. You don't, like, the last time that a huge launch happened was when we went to the moon. Like, this is like equivalent to the moon because of commercial.
Also the Challenger tragedy. Because I remember like Dad talked about it whenever he was on our episode, and he was like, that was a big thing. But you're absolutely right. Like launching Americans into space hardly ever happens.
Hardly ever, especially from American soil. Now we launch from like Kyrgyzstan and things like that, but we don't launch from American soil in commercially built rockets. It just doesn't happen. So Elon Musk's SpaceX is basically to thank for all of this happening. And you know, it was cool because you could watch it on YouTube. So you watch the whole thing through SpaceX's YouTube account, and from launch to them doing their own, like, taking control, because most of the time it's autopilot.
Uh-huh.
Well, then they were doing, because you have to circle the Earth to get into rotation with the International Space Station.
I didn't know that. I thought you just launched straight up there and then docked. Huh.
Isn't that cool?
You learn something new every day. That's right.
You have to launch up, and then you have to rotate the Earth to get to the speed that the International Space Station is going at.
That makes sense.
So then they can dock the International Space Station at the same speed, which, by the way, is like 700 miles per hour.
That's nuts.
But we got to watch them like take control, and they each got to fly the freaking rocket around the Earth.
Man, I would be so nervous.
And then they freaking the next day. So it takes them 18 hours from launch to get to the International Space Station, which you would think the average person thinks, oh, you just go. It's a 2-hour thing.
The average person, me, that's what I thought. Just straight up, like
you just time it right.
That's exactly what I thought it was. It was like, because of course the orbit, because the Earth is round. They'll like, okay, here, like once they're 10 minutes away, they'll blast them up, and then just kind of like an eclipse almost.
No,
that's what I thought. Okay.
So super cool. And then the next day, so 18 hours later, I get back on. And they're still like, old Bob and Doug, they're just chilling there. They're hanging out.
It just sounds like, I know some names, but old Bob and Doug, going into space.
And
Bob and Doug are NASCAR fans.
And it shows them docking to the International Space Station. And it's like, there's already 2 Russian cosmonauts up there and another American up there, like, waiting for them. So they're, like, set up all the cameras. And
that's so cool.
So we get to see the version of inside the International Space Station, and then Bob and Doug, like docking, and then coming through. It was, like, it's chilling, man.
Oh, I bet.
It's so cool. So they're up there for a while, and then they'll take the rocket and come on down. What's cool, too, with SpaceX is that every part of the rocket is being reused, which is the first time ever. So when they lift it up into space, the rocket, the part that, you always see the part that comes down.
Right, because you have the shuttle and then you have the rocket. And then the rocket's what propels it up, and then the shuttle is what takes it into orbit.
Yes.
Because typically, from what little I know of space, is like the rocket's this big orange thing and it falls off and then that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the rocket takes them up to space, and then he freaking Elon and his team, clearly. Yeah. But honestly, it could have just been Elon. He's so smart.
Hang on, time out. But there's also one of his Tesla cars up there. So in case they need in case they need a car, they can just hop in there and
hop into the Tesla truck.
Yeah.
So the rocket, they propelled it to space. Then when they let go, you got to watch it, and it landed on the ship. So they can reuse it for the next launch.
Wait. So this big rocket, the big rocket.
Yes.
So will you? Okay, here. This coaster is the pad. This is the rocket. All right.
Yeah.
So here we go. He goes, and then the shuttle comes down, and you're telling me the rocket landed perfectly back down?
No.
Oh.
I'm telling you that the rocket went from there. They got into space. They went back, and then your rocket landed all the way over here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on a boat. Perfect target.
What?
Yes.
Is there a video of that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
You can watch it. It is amazing.
Honestly, of course, launching people into space, that's awesome. That sounds like the most impressive part, honestly.
So they're reusing a whole bunch of parts.
Yeah,
because then the next rocket, they just fill it back up. Ready to roll.
Take it to Quick Trip, put the gas pump in it. Of course, that's not how it works, but wouldn't that be hilarious?
It would be. Maybe one day.
Yeah, that'd be maybe one day. That's true.
But SpaceX and Elon say that they're going to try to put somebody on the moon by 2024.
Hey, that's really not that far away.
And I'm pumped.
That's pretty quick, so hopefully they can do it. I think that's about it. I don't have anything else, so that's awesome. I am for sure going to check out that rocket video, because that sounds super cool. So we will be, of course, coming to you live next week on episode 85 of The Stevia Show, and you can always follow us on all the social media platforms with the handle @The Stevia Show. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcast app you listen to, and if you are on YouTube, search for The Stevia Show and subscribe with the notification button and smash that bell.
We would like to thank our Anchors producers for their continued support. You can support us for as little as 99 cents a month and receive exclusive Discord roles and bonus episodes every month.
Which now we can accurately say that, because we are back on
we're back on track.
We're back on schedule, because COVID is insane.
Yes.
So we also have merchandise available through our links in the bio. When you visit us online, check out our link tree, which is our bio link, and then click on merch. We ship nationwide as well. So if you live in the Villages, Florida, or if you live in Tulsa or Washington, D.C., we will gladly ship to you. So I think that about does it for today. We are glad to be back, and as always, check out our streams, and more importantly today, go vote tomorrow. Or go vote tomorrow if you live in Oklahoma, and we will see you all later. But for now, this is Steven.
This is Lydia.
And we will see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.